Okay, so first things first, let's get a little personal. I have had a scalp condition now for the last year and a half, it feels like, and it has been driving me crazy. I have been trying everything under the sun. My scalp is constantly flaking off. It's itchy. It drives me insane. And that is not pretty. It's not very feminine. It's not very cute, and it's embarrassing. So I thought maybe it was moving from a super moist climate like Portland to coming here to Utah, but I've been here 3 years. So you would think that it would have happened before. I don't know. I'm not very knowledgeable on this topic, obviously, because I can't fix it. I've gone to a couple different hairdressers. One told me, she's like, okay, well, does it itch like right back here? I said, yes. She said, well, tell me your typical hair routine. And I told her, well, I like wash it every other day, sometimes a couple more days in between. And I don't really know how to do my hair. You guys know that. I'm not a hair girl. I'm really, really bad at hair. And so I said, I mostly just, I love it when I get out of the shower and I can slick it back into a bun or into a ponytail if I blow dry it, but I typically don't blow dry it a whole lot and I put it back there. She told me that my hair was molding. Molding. It was molding, like right underneath. And I'm like, what the junk? So I stopped doing that, obviously. She said, because it's not typical. You shouldn't be feeling that back there. That, done away with. Totally fine. That worked. However, it still drives me crazy up here. I have been one that I rarely, in my life, rarely use any product in my hair. I wash it, I come out, sometimes I blow dry it, sometimes I don't. I don't typically use hairspray, maybe once a week, if that. I just don't use stuff. So I read a few articles, I tried to become informed on the subject, and everything that I see, I go to something else and it completely negates what I had just read. So someone was saying, well, you're not washing it often enough. So I started washing it every day. You know, if every other day and maybe a few days in between wasn't enough, if this is gonna get rid of the problem, okay, I'll go ahead and do that. So I started washing it every single day. Someone said to, you know, scratch your scalp and fluff it all off, or slough it all off, and then get into the shower and, you know, get it out. Some people say, no, don't scratch it at all, just massage with your fingertips. So I was washing it every single day. And then someone told me, well, are you washing it every single day and blow drying it? I said, well, yes, because the one girl told me it was molding, and then it freaked me out. And they're like, well, you shouldn't be blow drying it all the time because that's really bad for your scalp and that dries it out. So then I would just let it air dry. It looked ridiculous, but I let it air dry for a good month. That did not work. Then someone said, no, you're actually washing it too much and stripping the natural oils, which we've all heard. So I said, okay. So I started going for once every 3 days. It didn't work. And I will give something a long time to work. So, I mean, this is a year and a half of trying to figure out what's going on. Then someone said, it's a scalp condition, you need to use the Neutrogena, you know, tea gel, which is basically tar, put that in your hair. I did, it didn't help. So then reading, and I mean, there are tons and tons and tons of other things that I have tried, you know, going from all natural, coconut oil, you know, moisturizing, not moisturizing, reading on different articles on, well, actually, when you see it's dry scalp, it's really not dry. It's because you have overly moisturized your hair. And so I stopped using it. I mean, just tons and tons of stuff, okay? Long story short. Basically, I was reading on Facebook and someone was asking, does anybody else know poo? I would love to talk to the person that decided to market this whole thing as no pooing, because really, that wasn't smart. Basically what it is not shampooing in the traditional sense. You take a mixture of baking soda and water, and that is supposed to be your shampoo. For your conditioner, you take a mixture of water and white distilled vinegar. That's your conditioner. You put that in a spray bottle. You put that more in one of those little, It's kind of like a jar like this, but then it's got the triangular type tip that hairdressers use to put color in your hair. I don't know what it's called, squeeze bottle, whatever. You put the baking soda in there and you just stick to your scalp on that until it becomes what they say slippery in texture, and you massage that around. And then you take the vinegar solution and you spray it all in your hair. So I say, you know, I'm desperate at this point, completely and utterly desperate. So I'm like, okay, I'll try it. We'll see how it works. I have done it a total of 3 times now, and I'll talk to you about it. The first time I did it, it felt weird. It was very, very cool, which meant it was very, very soothing, at least, on my scalp. The white distilled vinegar stank badly. As soon as you wash it out, though, it doesn't stink at all. Then my hair just felt a little crunchy because I really didn't have time to do anything with it. So I ended up coming out, air drying it a little bit, putting it in a braid, and then I left and did my day. They also say you don't need to wash your hair. It's like once every 4 or 5 days is what you would need to do, so you don't need to wash it as often. So the next time I did it, I washed it, and lo and behold, I have so many things going on in life, I didn't have time to dry it again. So I let it air dry just a little bit, didn't blow dry, and just put it back in a loose ponytail and just left for the day. This morning I did it again. This is the first time that I've actually done my hair. So I braided it, I blow dried it completely, put a tiny bit of product just for frizz reasons, put a little bit of product, blow dried all the way through, did my hair in a braid, and then wrapped it all around into a braid bun, and then just kind of, you know, teased the top. And I mean, I haven't really noticed a huge difference in my scalp yet. It has only been a few weeks though. Something that I did notice today though is that, you know, that feeling you get when you maybe haven't washed your hair, what would it be? 3 days, maybe 4 days? Just when it starts to get a little slick, a little oily, if you have oily hair. Mine would get really oily very quickly in California. I sweat a lot on my face, especially in the summertime. And so my hair would get really, really oily, and I would have to wash it a lot more often than other people. But you know that feeling that's just a little bit slick? I just didn't feel like it was drying. Like I was blow drying it out, and it just still felt like it had stuff in it. Maybe I shouldn't have used the frizz. Maybe next time I'll try it without the frizz serum and see how it works. But yeah, I don't know. Have any of you tried it? Are you in the process of trying it? This is going to be my journey. This is not the review. This is still a journey. I have to give this a lot more time to see if it'll fix my scalp. Coconut oil in my hair. I do like that as a conditioner. I feel that it worked a little bit better than the vinegar and water. So maybe I'll just do the coconut oil once a week, maybe once every 2 weeks, just to give it a nice deep condition. What I like to do is I will wash my hair, then I'll get out, and when it's pretty towel dried, I'll put some coconut oil in my hands and emulsify it, put it all into my hair, and then I wrap it and wear it in a beanie for that night or whatever. And then I wake up in the morning and rinse, and that's how I do it, and it works great. Anyway, this was supposed to be just about the no pooing, but let's please come up with a different name. What would you guys suggest? Because we can't call it that. That's ridiculous. It's awful. I talked to my husband this morning and I said, yeah, I'm going to talk about like the no pooing theory. And he's like, why would you want to talk to people about that? If you're backed up, Jen, I don't think you should really be sharing that on camera. And I'm like, see, even my husband thinks that, yeah. And I told him what it was and he's like, yeah, that's a terrible name. I'm like, I know it is. So anyway, what would you guys call it? Let's come up with something else because that's just awful. All right, I'll talk to you guys later. Bye.